A car's brake system cannot function properly without the master cylinder. You might be dealing with some of the symptoms of a malfunctioning brake master cylinder if you have brake issues. In this video, we cover the most common symptoms of a bad brake master cylinder and the average replacement cost. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Soft or spongy brake pedal. A soft or spongy brake pedal is frequently one of the first indications of trouble, as is the case with most brake issues. A leak or other issue with the master cylinder may be the cause of your car's inability to stop without applying more pressure to the brakes. One of the most prevalent problems with brakes is a set of wobbly brakes, which can have multiple causes other than the master cylinder. It might also indicate that there is air in the brake lines, for instance. If so, to guarantee optimal performance, you must bleed the brakes and remove all of the air. Spooky brakes can also be caused by low brake fluid, a broken brake booster, and a damaged caliper. Hard brake pedal. It's also possible for a soft pedal to reverse itself. Although less frequent, this issue is not insurmountable. The brakes could lock up and feel like a hard pedal if the master cylinder is damaged. But this problem is caused by more widespread issues. For instance, we advise inspecting the booster hose, check valve, and brake booster initially. Loss of brakes. The worst-case scenario would be a failed brake system. Among the most frightening things that can occur when driving is this, particularly at faster speeds. When you apply pressure to the brake lines, the master cylinder functions as a hydraulic pump, maintaining a steady pressure within the brake lines. Although it is unlikely that you will lose every brake, you could lose the front or rear brakes due to the sophisticated design. Inconsistent brake power. The master cylinder stops functioning as it should, which causes the brakes to behave strangely. Your brakes may function properly one moment and malfunction the next. Because you can never be sure what kind of braking power you will receive, this can be a very dangerous situation, which might cause a serious mishap. Decreased brake power. You won't be able to stop the car in time as the master cylinder begins to fail. If you're not careful, this decreased braking power could cause an accident. Once more, some problems can contribute to a single issue. Defective components, faulty brake lines, or contaminated fluid could also be the cause. Brake fluid leaks. There may be fluid leaks present when there are problems with the master cylinder. Low fluid levels result in decreased hydraulic pressure, which impairs the brake's intended functionality. You'll see that even after the system is topped off, the fluid reservoir keeps decreasing. You may also see that the reservoir is holding contaminated or unclean fluid. Depending on the type, fresh brake fluid can appear red, clear, yellow, or blue. You should flush the system if it appears dirty or hazy. The master cylinder probably needs to be replaced if there are metal shavings in the fluid. This indicates that the master cylinder has experienced an internal failure. Replacement cost. The average cost to replace the brake master cylinder is between $250 and $450. The parts might only cost $35 to $95. With the labor costing the remaining $215 to $355. However, depending on where you live, you could easily pay more or less for mechanic labor because rates vary widely across the nation. In addition, you can buy a new or rebuilt master cylinder. The rebuilt option is going to be less expensive, but it's not always the safest one. Generally speaking, since we aren't talking about that much extra money, it makes more sense to buy a new one and get the warranty. You won't need any specialized tools if you want to replace the master cylinder on your own to save some money. Just keep in mind to bleed the brakes for optimal performance and to keep an ample supply of brake fluid on hand. Hope the information was helpful to you. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel.